There are a lot of different ways to sell your car, and unfortunately, many of the most popular methods will leave you with a ton of money on the table, money that could have been sitting in your bank account. And yet, most people still don't know how to spot a scammer, a fake expert, a sketchy instant buying service, or a dealership that relies on confusing paperwork, hidden fees, and mysterious taxes to somehow turn your $20,000 car into an $8,000 offer. So today we're going over every possible way you can sell your car, all the mistakes that can cost you thousands, and most importantly, how not to do it. But before you sell anything, you first have to decide how much your car is worth. And this is where the delusion begins. Let's say you own a 2016 Dodge Charger RT. You bought it 5 years ago for $28,000, but since then, you've put another $12,000 into modifications. It has an exhaust, intake, tune, lowering springs, a plastic Hellcat-style hood, and enough RGB lighting inside to qualify as a nightclub. So obviously, the car must now be worth $40,000, except it isn't. Your mods do not automatically increase the value of your car. Most of the time, they do the opposite. That $2,000 exhaust might sound amazing to you, but to a normal buyer, it sounds like the car has spent the last 5 years getting launched at every traffic light. The tune tells them the engine has been pushed harder, the lowering springs tell them the underside has probably made physical contact with the road, and the glowing interior tells them several questionable decisions were made inside this vehicle. You didn't spend $12,000 increasing the value, you spent $12,000 making the car perfect specifically for you. Modifying your car and expecting to recover every single dollar is like getting a tattoo of a snake fighting a dragon and expecting it to increase your value on the dating market. It means a lot to you, everyone else is just concerned. But our seller doesn't understand this. He looks at other Charger listings, ignores every reasonably priced example, and finds one dude asking 45 grand for his. The car's been listed for 11 months, but that doesn't matter. This one listing has now scientifically proven the market value, so our seller lists his Charger for $42,000 and writes the most reassuring sentence in automotive history: "I know what I have." Whenever you see this written in a car listing, the seller does not know what he has. He knows what he spent, he knows what he owes, and he knows the exact amount of money he needs for the down payment for his next terrible financial decision. None of these numbers determine what the car is actually worth. Your car is worth whatever another human being is genuinely willing to pay for it. Not what you paid, not what you owe the bank, not what your friend Tyler said it was worth, and definitely not what some other delusional dude is asking online. But before we can list a car, we need to prepare it for sale. This is where people usually make one of two mistakes. Some sellers do absolutely nothing. They pull into a gas station at midnight, take 6 blurry pictures while the car is covered in dirt, and upload the listing with half a McDonald's order still visible on the passenger seat. One picture is zoomed in on the left headlight, another is just their own reflection, and somehow none of them show the entire car. The interior picture has a check engine light visible, but the description says dash light is only from the cold. Brother, cold weather does not diagnose your engine. Clean the car. You don't need to spend $1,500 getting every microscopic scratch repaired, but you should at least make it look like you didn't live inside it. Wash the exterior, vacuum the interior, remove your garbage, and take the photos during the day. A clean car doesn't just look better, it tells buyers that the owner probably cared about it. The opposite mistake is spending way too much money preparing it. Some people decide to replace the tires, repaint 3 panels, install new brakes, and repair every tiny imperfection immediately before selling. Congratulations, you just spent $6,000 increasing the sale price by approximately $1,700. Fix the obvious problems that would scare buyers away, but don't accidentally restore the car for the next owner. Now that that Charger is reasonably clean, it's time to take some pictures. You want clear photos of every angle, the interior, mileage, engine bay, wheels, and any visible damage. Do not hide the damaged side of the car. If the rear bumper has a crack, show it. Otherwise, every buyer will travel 45 minutes, walk around the car, discover the crack, and immediately assume you're hiding another 15 problems. Honesty might lower the number of messages you receive, but it dramatically increases the chance that the people messaging you are actually willing to buy the car. Now we can write the description. A good description includes the year, mileage, engine, transmission, service history, recent maintenance, known problems, and reason for selling. A bad description says, "Runs mint, fast car, serious buyers only, don't waste my time." If you write "don't waste my time," the universe will send you the least serious people ever created. Which brings us to Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is probably the best place to get the most money for a normal used car, but you will pay the difference with your mental health. Within 30 seconds of listing your vehicle, you'll receive your first message: "Is this available?" You respond immediately, "Yes," and then that person disappears forever. They didn't check the mileage, search, they didn't look at the price, they might not even know what a Dodge Charger is. Facebook simply placed a button in front of them and their brain demanded they press it. Over the next few days, you're going to meet 5 main types of buyers: the lowballer, the trader, the storyteller, the fake expert, and the scammer. The lowballer is the most common. You listed the car for 24 grand, so he opens negotiations with a fair offer of 9. Cash today. Oh, cash today? I was actually hoping you would pay me in monthly shipments of livestock, but cash could work. These dudes act like physical currency possesses magical powers. Cash today does not make your offer less offensive. Unless the money is being delivered in a briefcase by John Wick, I'm not cutting the price in half. Some lowballers don't even say hello, they just send a number. 12. 12 what? $12,000? 12 monthly payments? 12 Popeye's biscuits? Just use your words. But eventually, you'll meet the trader. The trader doesn't have money, but what he lacks in funds, he makes up for with random possessions. Would you trade for a 2008 Yamaha dirt bike, a gaming PC, and a French bulldog? What am I supposed to do with this collection? I'm trying to reduce the number of unreliable machines in my life, not open a pawn shop. You'll also get people offering other cars. You're selling a clean Charger, and some dude offers you 2 broken BMWs. He explains that one of them only needs a water pump and the other one is basically just for parts. If the repair is so easy, why haven't you done it? Whenever someone says a broken car only needs one specific repair, that car needs everything except that repair. Next comes the storyteller. The storyteller really wants your car but can't afford it, so instead of negotiating normally, he sends you his entire biography. He explains that he recently lost his job, his girlfriend left him, his current car exploded, and his son has always dreamed of owning a V8 Dodge Charger. You start reading the message, feeling bad, and 14 paragraphs later, he offers you $7,000. I'm sorry all that happened, but I'm selling a car, not running a financial aid program. Then you have the fake expert. This dude watched 2 videos about Chargers and now believes he's an FCA master technician. He shows up, kicks each tire, stares into the engine bay, and starts making disappointed noises. What are you mmming at? He points at completely normal engine noises and tells you the lifters are about to fail. Then he claims the transmission is slipping, the suspension needs replacing, and the paint is the wrong shade of black. After explaining that your car is moments away from becoming mechanically deceased, he graciously offers to take it off your hands for half the price. This is a negotiation tactic. A pre-purchase inspection from an actual mechanic is completely reasonable. Some random dude insulting your car for 40 minutes is not. Finally, you have the scammer. The scammer is normally extremely eager to buy the car without seeing it. That alone should concern you. You could be selling a 2004 Nissan Altima with a missing door and he responds like he's been searching for this exact specification his entire life. He can't come personally because he's working offshore, serving in the military, managing an oil rig, or currently stationed on the moon. But luckily, he's going to send a transport company. He sends you more money than you asked for and tells you to forward the difference to the transporter. The original payment eventually disappears, but the money you sent to his fake transporter does not. No normal buyer accidentally sends you an additional $4,000. Nobody has ever typed 1 too many zeros into a bank transfer and responded, "Whatever, just give it to the delivery guy." Now, let's assume you finally find a real buyer. He wants to come see the car, which means we reach the test drive. Do not hand the keys to a complete stranger and let him disappear. I understand that he seems trustworthy. He arrived wearing a polo shirt and brought his dad. That does not mean you've completed a background check. Verify that he has a valid license, confirm that the test drive is insured where you live, and ride along if it's safe to do so. Meet in a populated public location and tell someone where you are. And before the test drive, make sure you're holding the correct keys. There are genuinely people who will arrive with a similar key, swap it with yours, and come back later when the car is unattended. Imagine losing your car to automotive sleight of hand. You thought you were meeting a buyer, but David Blaine just stole your Audi. You also shouldn't let the buyer drive like he's qualifying for Formula 1. A test drive is meant to confirm that the vehicle works. He does not need to test the launch control, maximum speed, and emergency braking system during the same 6-minute journey. If he crashes your car before buying it, congratulations, you now own a damaged car and a brand new argument. But let's say the test drive goes well. You agree on a price and it's finally time to get paid. This is the most important part. Do not accept a screenshot as proof of payment. Anyone can edit a screenshot. Your banking app could show a balance of $14 billion if you're willing to spend 3 minutes in Photoshop. Photoshop. Look at your own verified account and make sure the money is actually there and fully cleared. Cash can work, but large amounts should ideally be counted and verified at a bank. Cashier's checks and bank drafts can also be forged, so confirm them directly with the issuing bank. If the buyer starts rushing you, changing the payment method, or introducing increasingly complicated instructions, stop. Selling a car should not require a flowchart. Now, private selling usually gets you the highest price, but after receiving 97 messages and meeting a dude who tried paying with a jet ski, you may decide to trade it into a dealership. This is by far the easiest option. You drive in, they inspect the car, give you an offer, and handle most of the paperwork. Unfortunately, convenience is not free. Let's say similar chargers are listed privately for around 24 grand. The dealership inspects yours and offers 17. You're insulted. The salesman explains that the car needs tires, brakes, a full service, paint correction, professional detailing, new floor mats, and an exorcism. They then need room for reconditioning, warranty risk, overhead, and profit. Some of that is legitimate. They're a business and need to resell the car. But some dealerships also know that you've already mentally purchased a new car sitting in front of you. Once you've imagined yourself driving home in that new M3, your current car becomes an obstacle. That makes you easier to negotiate with. This is why you should know your car's approximate value and get multiple offers before walking into the dealership. Also, keep the numbers separate. The price of the new car, the value of your trade, and the financing are 3 different negotiations. If everything gets mixed into one magical monthly payment, they can give you an amazing trade-in value while quietly removing the discount from the car you're buying. Great news! We gave you 24 grand for your Charger! Awesome! But why did the BMW suddenly become $8,000 more expensive? Some places also offer a tax advantage when trading in a vehicle depending on where you live. That can reduce the difference between a private sale and a trade-in, but calculate the actual numbers. Do not accept a bad deal because the salesman said the word tax with confidence. If a dealership feels like too much effort, you might try an instant car buying service. You enter your registration, mileage, and condition online, and within seconds the website gives you an offer. This feels amazing. No listing, no strangers, no French bulldog traits. Then you arrive for the inspection. The employee walks around with a tablet and begins discovering damage at the molecular level. Unfortunately, there's a 1.7mm scratch beneath the rear bumper. He continues tapping the screen and your 22,000 online offer starts falling faster than a meme coin. By the end of the inspection, they offer you $16,500 and a bottle of water. These services can still be worth using. They're extremely convenient and their offers give you a useful baseline. Just understand that the beautiful online estimate may not survive physical contact with your actual car. For something rare or desirable, you might consider an auction. Auctions can be amazing because multiple interested buyers compete against each other. Instead of negotiating downward, the price can move upward. Your clean manual sports car might attract enthusiasts who understand why it's special instead of marketplace users asking whether you'll trade for a PlayStation. But auctions introduce a different danger, believing your car is more desirable than it actually is. You upload cinematic photos, write an emotional story about how the car changed your life, and watch the bidding begin. Day 1, 5 grand. Day 2, $8,500. Nice. Day 6, still $8,500. The auction ends tomorrow, you listed it with no reserve, and you suddenly realize the internet does not share your emotional connection to this vehicle. Somewhere across the country, a dude just bought your pride and joy for the price of a used refrigerator. A reserve protects you from selling below a certain price, but high reserves can kill interest. Auctions may also charge fees, require detailed disclosures, and take time to prepare. They work best for cars that are genuinely interesting, well documented, and presented properly. Your automatic base model 3 Series with an M badge glued to the grille does not need an international auction. Another option is consignment. This is where a specialist dealer displays and markets the car for you, then takes a fee when it sells. It's useful for expensive, classic, or unusual cars because you avoid dealing with buyers directly. But read the agreement. Find out who insures the car, where it will be stored, who is allowed to drive it, how long the agreement lasts, and exactly how much the dealer takes. You do not want the car sitting in a showroom for 8 months while the dealer uses it as decorative furniture. No matter how you sell the car, the final stage is paperwork. This is the boring part, which means it's also the part people ignore immediately before creating an enormous problem. Make sure the ownership transfer is completed correctly. Record the buyer's details, sale price, date, mileage, and known condition in a proper bill of sale where applicable. If the car still has finance on it, arrange the payoff and title release correctly. Do not simply give a stranger your finance car and trust him to keep making the payments. The loan is connected to you. If he disappears, stops paying, and drives directly through the entrance of a jewelry store, your situation may become slightly inconvenient. Depending on where you live, you may also need to notify the transport authority, remove or transfer the plates, and cancel the insurance after the ownership transfer is confirmed. Do not cancel everything before the deal is complete, and don't leave the vehicle registered in your name after it's gone. Rules vary by location, so check the actual requirements where you live instead of trusting a Facebook comment written by a doom named HemiKing69. So what is the best way to sell a car? First, find its realistic value using comparable listings and multiple purchase offers. Clean it, gather the service records, and fix only the problems that make financial sense. Take good pictures, write an honest description, and price it with a small amount of room for negotiation. Screen buyers before meeting them, meet somewhere safe, control the test drive, and verify the payment through your own bank. Then complete every part of the ownership transfer properly. A private sale will usually require more effort but can get you more money. A dealership or instant buying service will usually pay less but save you time. Auctions and consignment make the most sense for special cars with the right audience. Just remember, the amount of money you spent on your car does not determine its value. Your modifications are not a retirement account, cash today is not a magical phrase, and under no circumstances should you trade your running car for 2 broken BMWs and a French Bulldog, unless the Bulldog has a complete service history.